We brought the Providence up here in the fall, and we're going to be done in the spring. So we're working straight through the winter here. Since we're working here through the winter in Wiscasset, Maine, we needed to have a winter cover, not only for the crew, but just so that we're working with adhesives and paints. We need things to dry, and we can't wait for spring. So what we did was we built this winter cover, and it works like a greenhouse. So when the sun is out, it's plenty warm inside. Well, on deck here, we still got a lot of work to do because the boat's over 40 years old, and the deck beam across there was rotted. We found when we took the covering plate off of it that was completely gone. So that all had to be replaced. There was a catwalk on the port side. That had to be taken apart, and we're building that completely new. In the era of the Providence, there was some carving that was still used on ships. It wasn't like it was in the earlier centuries. There was a nice scroll carving that we had to replace here. This was done by a local carver. His name was Roger Berry. And this went on a new rail cap. Sections of the rail cap had to get replaced. On the quarterdeck, we found that there were some rot places that were around the swivel posts for the swivel guns. And so that had to get cut out and replaced. And of course, we got to replace the decking that was in that area too. Even though this is the 21st century, still sometimes the 18th century tools are the best way to go. Jeremy here is cutting a notch for a deck beam that's going to go into there. This beam was replaced because it had been rotted, and we made it out of laminated material. We're now in the hold of the Providence. In the 18th century, this would have been the cargo hold when the Providence was a cargo vessel. This would have been the living quarters, the eating quarters, the cargo space, everything for the when it was a warship. What we're doing here is we're planking it on the inside. Ships back then were double planked. They were planked on the outside and the inside. The inside planking is called sealing, and that's what Rob is installing at this point.
When the vessel came in, the captain complained of the engine bogging down. And after looking at a few things, we found that this hose, this fuel line hose, was disintegrating and plugging. The engine wasn't getting any fuel. The heat exchangers were salted up because the saltwater system hadn't been winterized. The blower on this 671 was rebuilt. The gear heat exchanger was rebuilt. All new zincs put in and all new hoses. Based on all the repairs that we've made on the engine and the genset, this vessel is ready to go to sea.
At this point, we're in the captain's cabin, which is just below the quarterdeck where we just were. Matt here is fitting a knee. As the boat was built, the paneling was very plain, and what we're trying to do here is to make it more historically correct. We're going to add this paneling and these knees, and then there'll be another piece that will go across here. All these details is making the boat more historically accurate. In a sense, what we're trying to create here is a time machine to take us back to the 18th century.